Welcome, everyone. It's another episode of Nerdstrodamus, and I'm Dr. Pants, and it's about 5 a.m. on Thursday, October the 3rd, and I'm about to make a solo trip up to New York City to go to Comic-Con. Now, those who know me know I've said in the past that I don't want to go back to New York Comic-Con. It's huge. There's a lot of people there. It's hard to get around, hard to see anything, hard to get into any panels. But I have to go this year. I've been working on a poster for about 6 to 7 years to have signatures of artists and writers who have worked on Spider-Man over the years, because Spider-Man's my favorite superhero. Has been for a long, long time. And I've got Stan Lee, I've got a lot of my favorite artists and writers on there, but there's one I've always been missing, and that's Todd McFarlane. This past weekend, it was announced that Todd McFarlane was going to be there signing things for free every day of New York Comic Con, and the only day I could get a pass for was Thursday. So I'm making the solo trip up there because I have to. I have to go up there. I have to get this poster signed by him. Because that'll complete the poster for me. Something I've been working on for a long time. So I got to do this. And I'm taking you all along for the ride. I'll be chronicling my trip as I go. And I hope you all enjoy it. So I'll see you there. So it's 10 o'clock at night on Thursday, October 3rd. I left around 5 a.m. this morning to go to New York Comic Con to get Todd McFarlane's autograph on my Spider-Man poster. And it was a day. To drive from here to New York City should take between 2.5 and 3 hours. And I did not get into the city and park until after 10 o'clock in the morning. So that was 12 hours ago. There were 3 accidents along the way. I was not involved in it. These happened long before, but it added a lot of time onto my thing. There have been multiple upsets in traffic, and I have been stopped so much that I'm losing my mind. It says I still have 15 minutes to get to a parking spot, so it's been an hour since my last update. It's now almost 10 o'clock. I left at 5 a.m. I should have gotten here at 8. And, I know there can be traffic outside New York City, but, holy crap. It added 2 hours to my trip. And, I'm panicking a little bit because I gotta make sure I get that
GPS
signature.
signal lost.
Thank you. But I'm panicking a little bit because I've got to get that signature. That's the only reason I came out here. I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste my day. I don't want to waste my money. So here's hoping I get it. Also, I have to pee. And, So the problem with that is my plan by leaving at 5 a.m. was to get there around 8-ish. Get my ticket, and then the doors open for the convention around 10, which is when they were handing out wristbands to get Todd McFarlane's autograph. I did not get into the city till after 10. I did not get my ticket and into the convention hall until around 11. So I got in line at the image booth, which really, really long. And I had no idea who to talk to, so I was just waiting in line to get up there. And finally, about 10-15 minutes into that, this woman who was an exhibitor for Image came around saying, "Oh, hey, we're sold out of the gold exclusive Spawn 300 comics." And I asked, "Well, what about the wristbands for, getting Todd McFarlane's autograph?" She said, "Oh, we handed those out when the doors opened this morning." And I'm like, oh no. They were gone. They gave out some for 2 o'clock and some for 3 o'clock. The sign was from 2 to 4. And I asked her, is there any chance that someone without a wristband can get in there and get the signature? And her response was, come back around 3:15. We can get an idea of what the line's like and how quick it's moving, and maybe. So there's a chance. So I wandered around the convention for a while. I did get to meet Andrew Griffith again. He did
He's done Transformers artwork. He did Robots in Disguise for a while, which was a really good series. He did a Gundam commission for me, which I'll throw a picture of up here. And it was nice to talk to him again. I got to see a lot of cool art. I roamed around Artist Alley for a while because it was less crowded in the actual convention hall. If I haven't stayed it before, I hate New York Comic Con. There's too many people, and I can't get anywhere. And I was only there for a day. So, around 2 o'clock, I went back up to the Image booth because they were starting the signings, and I looked at the line, and whoa. And it wasn't moving, really at all. And I stayed around there, and about 3:20, 3:30, that line has barely moved. Or it seems like it's not moving quickly at all. People can only get 2 things signed by Todd McFarlane, and it shouldn't take that long. Well, the girl was there, and I went up and I said, is there any chance that I can still get in this line? Like, I came up here specifically for this today. I drove a long time, and I'm not going to be here anymore during the weekend, and, like, I planned to get here to get the wristband, and traffic, like, kept me from here, and, like, I'm giving her the whole sob story, because, like, seriously, to spend the money for a New York Comic Con ticket and parking and everything, and to only come up here for this and not have it work out would... So the whole day I've been wondering, like, is this even going to happen, or am I going to walk away empty-handed, and this was all a waste? She doesn't really give me much of an answer other than, well, the line's moving fairly quickly, we have some buffer time, so maybe. And I said, can I just get in the back of the line, and if like all the wristbands go through and I'm there, like, can I make it? And she says, yeah, sure. So I hop in the back of the line. A couple of other people hear the same thing, so they hop in behind me. And we're standing in line for a little while, and the line's moving, and I've got my hopes up, because the line's moving fairly quickly, and then they come around and say, if you do not have a wristband, you cannot be in this line. While I was in there, and I was kind of like chit-chatting with some of the other people, I had brought up what I was getting signed, and like, me being here, and it being one day, the guy in front of me says, hey, give me your poster, I'll get it signed. And he had a wristband. I said, really? Well, what about your 2 items? And because it was a 2-item max, you couldn't get anything more than 2 items signed. He says, I've only got 1. So give me your poster, and I'll get it signed for you. And I was just like, really? Like, you do that for me? And he's like, I know you're here for just today, and you're doing this because you love this comic, you love Spider-Man, and you want Todd McFarlane to sign this, like, why not? And I'm like, wow. Thank you so much. And he says, by the way, just stick with me. And so I kept going with him. Like, I handed him the poster. And I chit-chat with him a little bit. He was actually there. He wasn't even getting any of his own stuff signed. He was getting an issue of Spawn 300 signed for a charity auction for Grasshopper Comics. They do charity auctions, and they put the money towards cancer research, which, excellent. And he was a really nice guy. He was all for, like, having me come up with him. And we got to the front, and he handed the comic and the poster over. And I was there with him, and Todd McFarlane signed the poster. And he shook the guy's hand who got my poster signed for me, and he shook my hand. So I got to meet Todd McFarlane, too, for a brief second. But nonetheless, this man helped me get my poster signed when everything seemed to just not work out, and it looked like it was going to be a waste of my time and energy. And I thanked him up and down. I offered to give him money for his trouble, like, do anything for him, because... I mean, wow. And he said, no, you're fine. I just really wanted to help you out. You seemed like you were having a rough time. And I'm like, I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much. And he goes, I don't think we ever exchanged names. And I was like, well, I'm Scott. And he's like, Bruce Wayne. He just walked away. So thanks to Bruce Wayne, because he got my poster signed. That's all I really needed. So, I'll put a picture of the poster up, because it's done now. This is it. I'm no more signatures. I mean, I could keep going and getting more people who worked on Spider-Man, because there's hundreds of people who've done things for Spider-Man, but I've got most of the big names. It's got Stan Lee, it's got Todd McFarlane, it's got some of my favorite writers and favorite artists. I've got Todd DeFalco, Bob McLeod, Humberto Ramos, like, anybody I could want. So, I'm done. I never, ever want to go back to New York Comic Con again. It's over. Thank you, everybody, for watching and joining me on this harrowing day. It has been physically and mentally exhausting, also emotionally, because as I said, I spent most of the day not knowing if I had even done the right thing, because it was a spur of the moment, and I'm going to go to New York Comic Con. Like, I decided this past Sunday. It hasn't even been a week. And, yeah. So, it worked out. And I've got to give amazing props to Mrs. Dr. Pants, because the poster was partly her idea, and she helped me figure out a lot of the writers and creators who were going to be at different conventions when we would go. So she helped a lot to make this what it is. So I owe her a lot. She does a lot to help me and my nerdy adventures. But thanks to all of you for watching. Bruce Wayne, wherever you are, thank you. You're a true king for saving.